adventures.
Hey guys, it's Chuke here with Chuke's Outdoor Adventures. Well, I have an interesting lineup for you. We have the Canik TTI Combat Master, and we're going to pit it against this Stealth Arms Platypus. Now, both very different pistols. Obviously, this is a polymer striker fire, and this is a double stack 1911 hybrid that takes Glock mags, but they are very similar in terms of capacity. Barrel length is kind of similar, but they both have good triggers. I want to compare them. Let's take a look at them. We'll take them to the range. I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, really interesting matchup here. I think it is two interesting pistols to compare, considering this barrel length is 4.6 inches and the standard 5-inch 1911, double stack 1911 barrel length. So slightly more on the Stealth Arms Platypus, but they do extend it because you've got this break, so it's almost comparable, and then the ports. Ergonomics, I'd have to give it to the Canik, a little more ergonomic, even though I do like the shape better. I'm just talking about the texture. The shape is actually better than this with the standard 1911 beaver tail, the grip angle. Definitely better. I just like the texture with this a little more. Trigger, I have to say that the Stealth Arms trigger, oh man, that's almost too light. But the Stealth Arms trigger beats this, even though this is a very fine trigger. Reset. But look at all this take up. That's the only thing I don't like about it. You don't notice it while shooting it. It's very fine trigger. The mags, very similar. They really made this thinner though. The Canik. Here's the Glock mag. You can see how much thinner the Canik is. But 18 and 17, and it's just a tad taller, and they got an extra round in there. Pretty impressive. Slide serrations, textured slide stop. I like these a little more on the Canik, more aggressive. So really interesting matchup. Let's take them to the range, give you my final thoughts. All right, we got an interesting comparison. Good old Stealth Arms Platypus versus the Canik TTI Combat Master. Both similar sized barrels. This one has a comp. Both really good triggers, and both with the 17-18 round magazines, which is actually impressed by the Canik because its magazine is much thinner, and it's just a couple millimeters, if just a millimeter, over the height of the 17 round. If you line them up perfectly, it's definitely a little taller, but it's well, actually that looks a lot taller, but it is thinner. But good comparison. We did have trouble. I didn't bring a screwdriver, and we're trying to sight in this Trigicon, and it was just kind of frustrating. But this is going to be the first shots with the good old Canik, but I'm going to fire the Platypus first and just kind of compare how they feel shooting. I'm betting that break makes a big difference, but let's try the Platypus first. Wow, hitting steel rapid fire. Okay, interesting. And that thing is just a joy to shoot. Okay, let's see how this thing goes. Wow. Nice flinch at the end there. Wow, that feels really good. I could see myself going to the classes with this thing. Okay, do one more mag, and I got Matt here. He's going to Alaska Frontier 1. Be sure to check out his channel. He's going to shoot them too, and then we'll kind of give you our final thoughts. Very similar mag shape and size, so that's pretty interesting. "19 yards away on the steel. All right. Ah, slammed shut on its own. Interesting. Wow, man, that is fun to shoot. All right, we're going to load some up more and have Matt shoot. All right, we got Matt, Alaska Frontier 1, so see what he thinks. Definitely ringing steel more than I did.
That's fair.
What do you think?
The compensator makes this thing so easy to shoot. That is really nice.
It's comfortable.
Yeah, that is for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely tough. Striker fired guns. I mean, the trigger is way better on a 1911.
Yeah.
And the ergos actually are pretty similar. But the compensator makes that gun run so fast. And I think once it's dialed in, like dot wise, it's going to be crazy good.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, I don't really like Turkey or pistols from Turkey, but all the features on this just make it irresistible to me.
For sure, and I mean, especially for the price point. I mean, this is going to be cheaper than this. But
and you get a massive case with this. When it first came out a year ago, I came close to getting it, but they were going for like $1,100.
Yeah.
Now you can get them for like $850. It should have 3 mags, but it comes with this massive case with the holster, a coin, all these tools. I mean, it's really hard to beat for the value.
For under $1,000, I mean, you're not going to beat that.
Yeah, I mean, the texture on that slide stop, and everything is just really comfortable.
Yeah, no, that's a really nice handgun.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know. I'm definitely biased to double stack 1911s. They're cool, but I mean, this thing, realistically, this is going to outshoot that.
Right.
I would say. Because, I mean, especially in any kind of self-defense or any type of even mass shooting, you're probably not going to be as concentrated on how clean and crisp the trigger is.
Right.
As much as that compensator really pushes the gun down, I think that's way better.
It's a better shooter, but this has a little more weight to it.
Yeah.
And it's comparable. I am biased to this too. I probably would choose this, but it is close. I would say that you're probably going to be more accurate with this, with the properly sighted in dot.
Yeah. I'd say like the biggest thing that I noticed between the two is definitely way better trigger on the Platypus, but I mean, once again, that's something that you can work around pretty easily.
As far as the carrying and capacity, pretty close with the 17 and 18 round mags.
Yeah.
I've actually been concealed carrying this for the fun of it, and it's doable. It's fairly thin.
Yeah. No, and that's something that I think, like you pointed out earlier with the magazines, you know, like the Canik is slightly longer, but it is thinner, and I feel like that, for me at least, when concealed carrying, I would rather have a slightly longer but thinner overall package.
So I guess we both agree that this shoots better.
Yeah.
But it's just slight, so if I had to pick between the two, I would get the Stealth Arms Platypus.
I mean, there's definitely a cool factor to it as well.
Yeah.
I think, like, naturally, like, you're buying a gun, you have to be interested in shooting it. You have to, like, want to shoot it, and I feel like that's probably where the Platypus comes into play, is I feel like I would want to shoot the Platypus more.
Yeah.
But I don't know, if you're, like, looking into getting into match shooting and stuff, I don't know, it's really hard to argue with the Canik, because I'd say with match shooting, especially if that's where you're going, like, you're gonna be running high round volumes. If you were to take, like, this is about what, 1600. This is about, you know, like what,
850.
900. Yeah, 850. Like, you could take, this is nearly double the price. You could take that other half of the money that you don't spend, put it into ammo, put it into training.
Right.
And so if you're a match shooter, I'd probably say, like, hands down, go with the Canik. It just makes more sense.
Good
But
point.
if you're gonna be concealed carrying, I'd probably go with the Platypus.
Yeah, I agree. So check out Matt from Alaska Frontier 1.
Cool.
Well, there you have it. In some ways, as a battle belt pistol, a trainer, this is definitely better. If I could pick one between the two, I would definitely pick the Platypus. It's got more cool factor and the trigger is better. To me, I think it's a better shooter, but it is that 1911 platform. But this is very cool. In some instances, I think this might be the better pick. And the price, of course, is, you know, this is much cheaper than this. It's less than half of what this is. So overall winner, Platypus. As far as value for a good shooter, I'd have to give it to the Canik. So let me know what you guys think. That was a fun comparison.
My name is Chuke. I like to trade my guns just for fun, but now I have none. Oh, don't get shot by a bear, but I don't care. I got a 10mm. Chuke's Outdoor Adventures. Watch you all die every time.